Hi, my name is Bill Anderson, and I'm going to do a tutorial for you today concerning Studio One 3 by Presonus. We're going to talk basically about how you configure the software after you get it installed to talk to your audio device. And I think I'll also include maybe laying down a couple of tracks from the installed sound files that come with Studio One. This is Studio One Artist, not Studio One Pro. That should be able to cover about 10 minutes. So let's get started. Basically, this is the screen you get when you first open it up. Of course, yours won't have these recent files in there. Those are songs that I've already done. They're just tutorials, or not tutorials, but demos and things I was screwing around with. But what you need to do first is go down here where it says configure audio device, and you can see mine says no audio device right now. Click on that, and here you see mine now defaulting to AISO for all version 2. That's the driver that I've got installed to run my audio interface. I highly recommend using it. It's a free download off the internet. You can get it at ASIOforall.com. And it's a very good driver. It's a better driver than what came with my audio interface, which is a Lexicon Lambda or Lambda, whichever way you want to pronounce it. The driver that came with that audio interface has got real high latency and problems and other issues as well. So once you've got if you've got ASIO for all installed, or whether you're using your own driver, either way, just select it in the pull down menu. It should, once you've got it installed, it should come into this pull down menu right here. So you just select it. Here you can see block device size, 128 samples. That I think was defaulted when I installed ASIO for all. That defaulted to 512 samples. You control that by going here into Control Panel, and the slider down here at the bottom, where if you slide it to the left here, you'll get lower latency. And if you slide it to the right, you'll get rid of other issues like little glitches, crackly noises. You have a larger buffer, you have a smoother operation, but your latency is going to be real bad. So I set mine to 128. Depending on how large your songs get, you may need a bigger buffer, but I suggest starting at 128 and only bumping it up if you need to. The other thing that I changed from the default was the in and the out samples. They were defaulted to 32 samples, and this is your latency compensation. I changed that to 16. I just don't think they needed to be at 32. So if you have any issues with that, you can always bump it back up. But those are the two things that I changed from the default when I installed the ASIO for all driver. And that's it for the device driver. You should be good. The only thing that you might want to do is configure your external devices if you have any, like make a MIDI controller. I don't have any just yet. But what I've done is configured my keyboard as the QWERTY keyboard as a video or a MIDI device driver. I'll go ahead and remove it so you can see how to configure it. You just click on Add right here, and then this pull down, or this list here, it's not really a pull down list, but this list right here is available for whatever device you have. You try to find its name and then click on that until you find what you need. If you're doing your QWERTY keyboard, you go down to where you find Presonus and open up that. Scroll down a little ways and you'll see QWERTY keyboard. So then you just click on OK. and then you've got your keyboard is in there as a MIDI controller. Okay, that's about it for configuring your audio interface and your MIDI controllers. It's really just that simple. It doesn't take long at all. So let's create a song and lay down a couple of tracks and see how that goes. So you can click on create a new song right here, and we'll just do an empty song. You can come down here and do lots of other ones, you know, a piano ballad, or whatever else you want to do. You can have instrument sets or house techno, recording a band, vocal, guitar, whatever. But I'm just going to do an empty song so you can see me configure channels and stuff. Let's first off give it a name. Let's just call this YouTube test song. The sample rate, I've got it set to 4800 hertz or 48 kilohertz. I think that's the best, really, for recording purposes. It's DVD quality. If you're going to set it at that, you also need to make sure that you've set your device that it's talking to for recording to 48 kilohertz. And you can do that really by just right-clicking on that little sound device thing and click on recording devices. There's my Lexicon Lambada in and out. So I click on that, go to properties, and then go to advanced, and then you've got your choices here. Mine's already set to 24-bit 4800 hertz, and click OK. That way what you've configured here matches what your computer is configured at. That's very important. And everything else can be left to its default for all I care. You can change your beats per minute and song length if you want to. It doesn't really matter. So we'll say okay to that. I think just to keep it simple, instead of adding it, you can add a track by clicking on this little plus button, and then you can get a chance to name your track and pick the type of track and all that. Or you can use this pull down menu and add a track, add whatever track you want from this pull down menu. But I think really to just do something down and dirty so we stay inside of 10 minutes here, I'm going to go to these pre-done sound bites that they have on here, and we'll listen to something and try to find some see if we can't find some guitar. Oops, there's guitar. There's a Funk and Soul lead piece. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay, let's use that. All we have to do is just click on it and drag it, and it creates its own track and everything just fine. And now let's put in the drums track. There's the drums. This is the loops. That sounds good. Now we've got a drum track. Let's see how it sounds. Okay, now Probably the volume was a little off. I think maybe the drums were overwhelming the guitar there a little bit. So you come down here where it says mix, and you'll open up the mixer. And here's your 2 channels, the faders for your 2 channels. Probably be a good idea to rename these to something more meaningful. These pick up the default names. I think if you're real careful, you can right-click on these. I'm not sure. Well, it's not letting me do it. There should be a way to rename these. Let's try this one. No, it's not doing it. I thought you could click on these and it would let you rename them, but it's not. When you click on here, this plus sign, or from the menu item up here, it gives you a chance to name the track from the beginning. So that might be a better way of doing it. So you have something more meaningful than just funk icons and funk MSA1. But let's run the music again and mess with these faders and get our mix right. I think that sounds about right. Okay, so we've got ourselves a simple song. That's about as far as I can go in this tutorial. I'm about out of time here. If you like this tutorial, let me know. If you didn't like it, let me know. If you want me to do more, tell me what topics. I'll do the research and I'll do the videos and post them. Again, my name is Bill Anderson. I hope you enjoyed it and have a good evening.